All right, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm back again. It's your good friend Pozzible here, and we're doing another movie review based off of a much older movie. It's not really a forgotten classic; hasn't really been around, even though it's been around for a long time, since 1997, 1998. We're talking about Perfect Blue this time. A very different kind of movie, very interesting movie, though I have to admit it takes a long time to get there. The movie starts off very, very slow. In Perfect Blue, you have basically a young lady here who used to be a pop idol, so she's a singer. She did all this training to be a singer. They make sure you learn that very well. But now she wants to be an actress. She wants to move on with her life and try different things and excel in different things. So during this transition, though, she starts to go a little crazy. Well, not a little crazy, very crazy. She starts to get very paranoid. She's a little confused because there's this literally two parts of her. There's this one part of her which is a pop idol that makes herself known through a shadowy figure, and then there's this other part of her which is the real person, which is struggling. This, even though it says on top it's kind of like a cross between Alfred Hitchcock and Walt Disney, think of it more like the Twilight Zone, where a person wants to make a change, wants to grow, but there's this other part of them that wants to stay safe and keep it keep it real, stay where they were. Now, what you also have to understand is that this movie has a very eerie sense of someone pulling the strings in the background. One other thing you have to remember, and this is something I have to talk about now, it was released around 1997, 1998. Of course, it was released in Japan first, then it came over to America, and that really confused a lot of people. But that said, the internet is a new phenomenon back in those days. The internet having opened up just a few years earlier, back in the 1994, 1995 is when it actually came out. So it was interesting to see somebody have to learn the internet, have to figure out the internet. And this is where the movie gets some of its eeriness, because someone's like watching her every move. She can't be doing this. She has no idea what the internet is. And then there's this moment where it's like even you can't question reality. You can't tell what's real, what's not real. It's very psychological, very hard to follow. But in the end, it all comes together nicely. Now, one thing I did mention before, and I want to stress this again, the movie is very slow to start. You gotta take it as it comes, and it starts off very slow. The first 30 minutes are really kind of convoluted. After the 30 minutes, it really starts to pick up speed. The next 30 minutes, the second 30 minutes is really confusing. I mean, they just throw a whole bunch of stuff at you, and you're just losing your mind wondering who's real, how is this really happening? And finally, the conclusion after the hour is just mind-boggling. Very satisfying, very mysterious, because there's a lot going on here. And the worst part is that people are dying, and nobody truly understands why. And things are just all sorts of confusing for this poor girl. You really feel for her. Now, one thing else you got to remember, though, is that this is made back, like I said, back in the 90s, so the animation's going to be a little off. This is Manga here. This is not anime per se. It's more of a version of choppier animation. Wasn't as smooth. Things aren't as polished as they are nowadays. If you ever see some of the animes, like I've watched, I've seen Queen's Blade, High School of the Dead. I've just recently got done with Kanan. This one is a lot, very old school. This is like watching a very old version of comics from back in the day. So, but still, I can't deny Perfect Blue is a see it. You gotta watch something like this. Survive it. Just keep yourself, absorb what's happening, get an idea of who's who and what's what, and see if you can all make sense of it when it's all over. Pay close attention. This is a movie you can't really sleep through because you might miss something at the end, and it's very interesting at the end. Very happy ending. Very glad I saw it. Well, even though that's a very old movie, I will see you at the theaters. Take care, guys.